So y'all got some drama. This woman said she met a guy on Hinge and she thinks that he's married. She said, I think the guy that I'm talking to on Hinge is married. And she goes into a story time about how she thinks he is. And she ended up messaging somebody. And let's get into it. I'm using a little square today, y'all. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. I'm not going into my circle.
I think that the guy that I've been talking to from Hinge has a wife. Let me tell you why I think this.
Uh-oh.
We started talking for a few days. He planned to come hang out with me. 3 hours before we were supposed to hang out, he was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I didn't know his last name, though, so I couldn't go and stalk his Facebook or anything. After he told me he couldn't make it at 11 a.m., he texted me that night at 10:30, hey, you up? Started apologizing, saying he's super sorry, told me why he couldn't make it, saying that he wants to make it up to me and come hang out with me today.
All day? Like, she texted at 11 a.m. and then all of a sudden at nighttime, he couldn't make it for lunch. So he texted at 10:30. Yeah, red flags. Where my red flag at?
On Snapchat, I saw a notification pop up for my new contacts, and he was one of them, so it had his first and last name.
Uh-oh.
Went to his Facebook, his profile picture is him, and in the background is his kids.
Uh-oh.
I scroll down a little bit, do a little more stalking, and I saw a post, got engaged to blank in 2018. Click on her profile, and her profile picture is a picture of the whole family, him and her and their 2 kids, when the kids were babies.
So that's always a red flag right there. The kids, the picture of the kids and hiding the last name and the first name. But then it just seems like people like that lie. He didn't tell you he had kids. That's immediate red flag. They be lying. You up? What's up? I'm going to make it up to you. They be lying. They just be wanting to clap cheeks.
To not sound like a stalker, I asked him for his last name so I could friend him on Facebook. He said, okay, but don't ghost me if you see something you don't like.
Oh, Lord.
I said, are you married? Mind you, this is all around like 11:30 last night. He said no, that they're legally separated. They filed for divorce 2 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, her Facebook profile still says they're married and her profile picture is a picture of them.
But in these situations, people will lie their asses off and just say, oh, we still live together. It's only for the kids. I sleep upstairs. She sleeps downstairs. We're not really a couple. We just trying to, it's for the images. If I divorce her, I'll never see my kids. They be lying, man. They all be lying. I promise you they do. They be lying their asses off.
Anyways, he starts explaining everything to me, how they're not married, when they got divorced, when it's finalized, blah, 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 blah.
Lord.
Very in detail. And then he started being a little freaky, like trying to get me to,
Lord.
And he's like sending me pictures of alarms he has because he's gonna go fishing and go shopping and stuff. And he said he was going to FaceTime me in the morning. I want to make sure that he's actually married before I go and text the wife.
Yeah.
And now I haven't gotten a text from him all day, so I'm gonna wait until tonight. And if he doesn't send anything, I'm gonna message the wife.
We got to go into it. Is there a part 2? There is a part 2, and it is...
His wife read my message, blocked me, and just responded. She said, yes, we are married, there is no divorce, and we have 2 kids. She said they've been together 16 years, and that he's done this with multiple women since they've had kids. And that I'm better off to just block him, which I did.
You're better off to just... He's done this multiple times, so you're better off to just block him? I know people are going to be like, why did she just leave? Why is she still there? Why hasn't she left yet? Why don't she just get out of there? Watch it be money or something like that. Watch it. She said he's done this multiple times since we get married. Watch it be money. Watch it be something. It's almost always money.
She said she can't leave because the only support she has is from him and his family. So this man's on dating apps, texting multiple women, trying to hang out with multiple women, and has a whole wife and kids.
Yep.
I should have known, like my gut was telling me something was wrong. So I'm glad that we got this figured out and his wife is aware. But she doesn't want to leave him, but that's on her.
Yep. She's probably not going to leave. You see this stuff out here? And they defend them. Yeah. I hate that for her. Can't imagine being in that position. Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't care. She's going to do anything. Yeah. People in those situations, y'all, when they get financially trapped, and they feel like they can't do anything, they typically not going to leave, right? Sometimes I talk to people like that on my other page all the time, but they feel financially trapped or they feel like they're going to struggle, or they've been isolated, because you hear her just say, the only support I have is his family and his people. She's not going to go nowhere. And that's sad, because you can just tell that people in that situation a lot of times, because they can't do anything about it, that leads to a lot of depression, right? Some people, I've talked to some people who just like, you know what, Lee, I didn't have money, I didn't have a job because I was a stay-at-home parent, and I just went to a shelter for a little while until I got on my feet, and then now I got a job, now I'm self-sufficient, now that person's paying child support, now I'm doing a lot better. I just could not, I would rather try to make it on my own than to feel like I'm being held hostage and just be sad as hell and depressed, right? Just be super sad and depressed all the time, because she was, anybody who's in that situation right there is going to almost always be depressed, because you didn't sign up for that. You didn't sign up for it, right? And sometimes it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And because it's happened multiple times, this means she's caught him multiple times, or multiple people have reached out to her to tell her what's going on, and she still hasn't left. Again, not everybody in that situation is going to leave. I promise you. Some people want to leave. Some people they don't have the resources to. And some people are not going to leave because they're emotionally bound to the person. They're being emotionally abused. They really do feel trapped. Now I'll be feeling bad for a lot of people in those situations, because they get stuck in these. Sometimes it's religious. Sometimes it's something else going on. It can get very, very toxic very, very fast. And when you have kids, it makes it a lot more difficult, because you don't want to. That person that's cheating on you will try to convince you that you're breaking the family up, or you're doing wrong because you decided to leave, because you decided to protect yourself, because you decided that you have had enough, and they don't want that for you. They don't want you to decide that you've had enough. They'll let you know when you've had enough. And the crazy thing about it is, the person that's cheating typically doesn't end up leaving for a long time. They'll end up being the one who leaves. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to be in a situation and you feel like you're financially stuck or financially trapped, start making a plan. Because sooner or later, the cheater might get fed up and find somebody that fits them better, and then they'll end up leaving you high and dry. So you're going to be faced, your biggest fear is going to come to fruition regardless of whether you leave or stay, because they're going to leave you. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of whether you leave or stay, they're going to leave you, and then you're going to be in the exact same situation that you were afraid of. So I tell people to prepare. Don't wait around. I'm not telling you to just up and leave right now. I'm just saying prepare just in case, so that when the time comes, you are ready. So you're not sitting there stuck and unhappy as hell and sad and just depressed. And because if you have kids and you're depressed, it's very hard to give your kids your full undivided attention. It's very difficult to be there for your children when you're depressed. It just is, y'all. I'm not calling you a bad parent. I'm just saying it's very difficult to be there for them. Anyways, y'all, I'm going to link the full videos. Y'all can check it out. Hit that subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.